Everyone, today I want to talk about a subject that many might overlook: a woman with no friends. We live in a world where friendships are seen as essential to happiness, yet many women find themselves alone, whether by choice or circumstance. A woman with no friends is often misunderstood. People assume she is lonely, difficult, or unapproachable. But is that really the case? Sometimes she is a woman of great strength, resilience, and independence. She may have been hurt, betrayed, or simply outgrown the people around her. But does having no friends mean having no value? Absolutely not. A woman without friends is not necessarily weak or sad. She can be focused on her personal growth, career, or family. She may be selective in choosing those she trusts. She may be content in her solitude, finding peace in books, nature, or self-reflection. However, human connection is important. We all need someone to share our joys and struggles with. If you know a woman who has no friends, reach out. You might be surprised by the strength, wisdom, and kindness she carries within. Let's not judge a woman by her social circle, but by her character, heart, and spirit. And if you are a woman with no friends, remember you are still whole, still valuable, and still deserving of love. Many women who find themselves without friends are often misunderstood by society. People may assume that she is unapproachable, arrogant, or even difficult to get along with. However, this is not always the case. A woman may have no friends for various reasons, and often it is not a reflection of her character, but rather the circumstances she has encountered throughout her life. Some women are naturally introverted and prefer solitude over social interactions. They find comfort in their own company and do not feel the need to constantly surround themselves with people. Others may have had friendships in the past, but lost them due to relocation, changing life priorities, or personal growth that led them in a different direction. For some women, a lack of friends may stem from past betrayals or negative experiences that made them hesitant to trust again. Friendships, like any relationship, require effort, loyalty, and emotional investment. If a woman has been hurt, manipulated, or taken for granted in the past, she may choose to distance herself from social connections to protect her peace. This does not mean she is cold-hearted or incapable of forming meaningful relationships. It simply means she values herself enough to avoid toxic environments. Additionally, society often places pressure on individuals, especially women, to be socially active and maintain a large circle of friends. Social media amplifies this expectation, showcasing carefully curated images of people surrounded by friends, enjoying events, and living seemingly perfect lives. This unrealistic portrayal can make a woman with no friends feel isolated or inadequate, even if she is perfectly content with her own life. The truth is, friendship is not a numbers game. The quality of relationships matters far more than the quantity. Some women choose to have no friends because they refuse to settle for shallow connections, and instead prioritize meaningful interactions with a few trusted individuals, even if those people are family members, colleagues, or mentors rather than traditional friends. Another important aspect to consider is that a woman without friends may not necessarily be lonely. Society often equates being alone with being unhappy, but many women embrace solitude as a time for self-discovery, growth, and peace. They use their time to focus on their careers, hobbies, and personal goals without the distractions of maintaining friendships that may not align with their aspirations. They develop independence and resilience, proving that a person can lead a fulfilling life without relying on social validation. Despite these realities, it is still important to acknowledge that human connection is valuable. While some women may thrive in solitude, others might secretly long for companionship but struggle to find the right people to connect with. In such cases, rather than judging or assuming, society should foster an environment of inclusivity where people feel welcome to form relationships without fear of judgment or exclusion. If a woman has no friends, it does not mean she is flawed. It simply means she is living life in a way that best suits her. Not having friends does not mean that a woman is weak or unsuccessful. In fact, many women who do not have a close circle of friends are some of the most resilient and self-sufficient individuals. Society often associates friendships with emotional stability, happiness, and success. But in reality, a person's strength is not determined by the number of people they surround themselves with. A woman with no friends may have learned how to navigate life on her own, relying on her own wisdom and experience rather than seeking external validation. She has likely developed a strong sense of self-awareness, independence, and the ability to make decisions without being influenced by social pressures. These qualities are not signs of weakness, but rather indications of someone who is capable of handling life's challenges on her own terms. Some women choose solitude because they have realized that not all friendships are beneficial. Many people stay in friendships out of habit, obligation, or fear of loneliness, even when those relationships are draining or unfulfilling. A woman who prioritizes her peace and self-respect may choose to distance herself from friendships that no longer serve her well. She understands that it is better to be alone than to be surrounded by people who do not genuinely care for her well-being. In doing so, she demonstrates emotional strength, as it takes great courage to walk away from unhealthy social connections and focus on self-preservation. It is also important to recognize that success is not measured by social relationships, but by personal growth, accomplishments, and inner fulfillment. A woman without friends may be entirely dedicated to her career, education, or personal passions. She might be working towards her dreams with such focus and determination that she has little time or energy for maintaining friendships. This does not make her less successful. If anything, it highlights her commitment to her goals. Many highly accomplished women throughout history have led solitary lives, not because they were incapable of making friends, but because their priorities were different. They understood that true success comes from within and is not dependent on social validation. Some women choose to focus on their personal growth rather than investing time in friendships. Personal growth requires deep self-reflection, discipline, and the ability to be comfortable with one's own thoughts. A woman who spends time alone often has the opportunity to discover her passions, improve her skills, and develop emotional intelligence. She may spend her time reading, learning new things, traveling, or engaging in activities that bring her joy without the need for external companionship. In a world that constantly demands social interaction, choosing personal growth over socializing is a bold and admirable decision. Focusing on personal development also allows a woman to become more self-sufficient. She does not rely on others for emotional support, entertainment, or validation. Instead, she finds fulfillment within herself, which is a rare and valuable quality. Many people struggle with being alone because they fear facing their own thoughts. But a woman who prioritizes personal growth embraces solitude as a time for self-improvement. This kind of self-awareness and maturity is a sign of strength, not weakness. It is also worth noting that some women who have no friends are not necessarily against forming connections. They are simply more selective about who they allow into their lives. They understand that energy is precious, and not everyone deserves access to their time and emotions. They value depth over quantity, preferring meaningful conversations and authentic relationships rather than superficial social interactions. As a result, they may have fewer social connections, but the ones they do have are often deeply fulfilling and based on genuine trust. A woman who prioritizes her personal growth does not see solitude as a burden, but as a privilege. She enjoys the freedom of making her own decisions without external influence. She takes the time to work on her mental, emotional, and physical well-being without feeling pressured to fit into societal expectations. She understands that personal development is a lifelong journey, and she embraces every opportunity to become a better version of herself. This level of self-sufficiency and dedication to growth is not only admirable, but also empowering. Social isolation can sometimes lead to emotional struggles, even for the strongest individuals. While a woman without friends may be independent and self-sufficient, there are moments when the absence of companionship can bring about feelings of loneliness, sadness, or even self-doubt. Human beings are naturally social creatures, and even the most introverted person can experience the need for meaningful connection at times. Life is filled with moments, both joyful and difficult, that are often better when shared. Without friends, a woman may find herself navigating challenges alone without a support system to lean on. There may be moments when she wishes she had someone to celebrate her achievements with, confide in during tough times, or simply share a laugh with after a long day. In some cases, prolonged social isolation can lead to deeper emotional struggles such as anxiety or depression. Without a trusted circle of friends to provide encouragement and perspective, it can be easy for negative thoughts to take hold. When problems arise, a woman with no friends may have no one to reassure her, help her process emotions, or offer guidance. Over time, the absence of support can make even minor setbacks feel overwhelming. Simple things like not having anyone to check in on her well-being, share personal news with, or provide emotional comfort can contribute to feelings of detachment from the world. Even if a woman is content with her solitude most of the time, these moments of emotional vulnerability can be difficult to handle alone. Despite the challenges, some women learn how to cope with loneliness in healthy ways. They may turn to creative outlets, such as writing, painting, or music, to express their emotions. Others find comfort in books, movies, or online communities where they can engage with like-minded individuals from a distance. Still, no matter how self-sufficient a woman may be, human connection remains an important aspect of life. She may not need a large group of friends, but having at least one or two close and trustworthy people in her life can make a significant difference. Even independent women need meaningful relationships. The idea that a person can go through life without any form of companionship is unrealistic, as humans are wired for connection. While some women may be comfortable being alone, there are times when having a trusted friend or confidant can provide emotional relief and joy. Meaningful relationships do not necessarily mean having a large social circle. Instead, they are built on trust, mutual respect, and understanding. A single deep and meaningful connection can be more valuable than 100 surface-level friendships. Relationships, whether with friends, family members, or mentors, offer emotional support, encouragement, and a sense of belonging. A woman may be strong enough to face challenges on her own, but having someone to share burdens with can make life easier. When difficulties arise, having someone to talk to can provide clarity, advice, and comfort. Likewise, having people to celebrate successes and achievements with can make happy moments even more fulfilling. Life's best experiences often feel richer when shared, and even the most independent woman can benefit from having relationships that bring positivity into her life. Additionally, meaningful relationships can provide opportunities for personal growth and self-discovery. Engaging in conversations with others, exchanging ideas, and experiencing different perspectives can help a woman expand her knowledge and understanding of the world. Relationships help people learn about themselves, as interactions with others often reveal personal strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. A woman with no friends may be highly self-aware, but meaningful relationships can further contribute to her emotional and intellectual development. Encouraging kindness and understanding instead of judgment can make a significant difference in how women without friends are perceived and treated by society. It is easy for people to make assumptions about someone who has no friends, often assuming that she is cold, unapproachable, or difficult. However, rather than judging, society should strive to understand the reasons behind her solitude and respect her choices. Not every woman without friends is unhappy or struggling. Some simply prefer their own company or have been through experiences that made them cautious about forming relationships. Instead of labeling them as outsiders, people should show kindness, offer genuine interactions, and create an environment where they feel included without pressure. Sometimes all it takes is a small act of kindness to make a difference in someone's life. A simple conversation, a warm smile, or an invitation to join an activity can help a woman who might be longing for connection but hesitant to reach out. Understanding that everyone has a different journey and respecting those differences allows society to be more inclusive and compassionate. Instead of assuming that a woman with no friends is lonely or undesirable, people should recognize that her solitude may be a personal choice, a temporary phase, or a result of life circumstances beyond her control. Additionally, encouraging open conversations about friendship, loneliness, and personal well-being can help break down stigmas and allow people to connect more authentically. By fostering a culture of support rather than judgment, society can create spaces where women, regardless of their social status, feel valued, respected, and free to live life on their own terms. You are still valuable and deserving of love. Regardless of the number of friends you have, society often places immense pressure on people, especially women, to be social, outgoing, and surrounded by a large group of friends. The media portrays friendships as an essential part of happiness, leading many to believe that having no friends is a sign of failure. However, the truth is that a woman's worth is not defined by her social circle, but by her character, resilience, and self-respect. Many women without friends are incredibly strong individuals who have learned to navigate life independently. They may have chosen solitude as a way to protect their peace or focus on personal growth. Their value is not diminished by their decision to live life differently from societal expectations. A woman with no friends is still deserving of love, kindness, and appreciation. Just because she does not have a large group of people surrounding her does not mean she is any less important than someone who does. Her contributions to society, her intelligence, her kindness, and her dreams are just as valid as anyone else's. It is important to remind women in this situation that their worth is not measured by how many people call them a friend, but by their ability to remain true to themselves. Even if she has no friends, she can still have fulfilling relationships with family, co-workers, or even herself. Self-love is just as powerful as external validation, if not more so. Learning to appreciate one's own company, and recognize one's own worth is a journey that many struggle with, but those who master it become some of the most emotionally strong individuals. Additionally, being without friends does not mean that a woman cannot experience love in different forms. Love exists in many ways beyond friendships, through family bonds, romantic relationships, passions, and self-care. A woman who embraces her own presence and treats herself with the same kindness and compassion she would offer to a friend will find fulfillment even in solitude. Learning to love oneself can be a transformative experience, allowing a person to feel whole without needing external validation. Many women who spend time alone develop a deep sense of self-worth, confidence, and clarity about their desires and goals in life. They understand that they do not need a crowd to feel valued. They are enough just as they are. Reaching out to those who seem alone and offering support can make a profound difference in their lives. Many women without friends may not openly express their feelings of loneliness or isolation, but a simple act of kindness from someone else can change their perspective. It is easy to assume that a person who keeps to themselves prefers it that way, but the reality is that some women may be struggling silently, unsure of how to initiate friendships or afraid of being rejected. Society tends to overlook people who do not fit into the mold of social norms, often neglecting those who seem quiet or introverted. However, reaching out with a genuine interest in someone's well-being can be life-changing. A small conversation, an invitation to share an activity, or even a kind gesture can be enough to help a woman who has no friends feel included. Sometimes people do not need extravagant efforts to feel valued, they just need to know that someone cares. Being considerate of others and making space for people who may not have a strong support system is an act of humanity that everyone should practice. Rather than judging or making assumptions about why a woman has no friends, offering a listening ear and a welcoming attitude can create opportunities for genuine connections to form. It is important to approach such situations with sincerity. Many women without friends have been through experiences that make them hesitant to trust others easily. Some have faced betrayal, exclusion, or past relationships that ended in pain, making them cautious about forming new friendships. Therefore, any attempt to reach out should be made with patience and understanding. Rather than forcing someone into social interactions, allowing them to open up at their own pace creates an environment where they feel safe. If more people took the time to be inclusive and considerate, there would be fewer women feeling isolated or forgotten. By making an effort to connect with those who seem alone, society can help foster an atmosphere of kindness and belonging. A simple check-in message, an occasional invitation, or even acknowledging someone's presence with a warm greeting can have a meaningful impact. Everyone deserves to feel like they belong, and small actions can make a significant difference in someone's life. Friendship is valuable, but self-worth is not defined by it. There is no denying that friendships can bring joy, companionship, and support, but they are not the only things that give life meaning. A woman's identity is not based on how many people surround her, but on her passions, her integrity, and her ability to stand strong on her own. Many great thinkers, writers, and leaders throughout history have spent much of their lives in solitude, using that time to reflect, grow, and contribute to the world in meaningful ways. A woman without friends is not incomplete. She is simply walking a different path, one that may lead her to greater self-awareness, peace, and fulfillment. In a world that often values social interaction over introspection, choosing solitude is sometimes seen as unusual or even concerning. However, embracing one's own company can be one of the most empowering decisions a person can make. It allows for deeper self-discovery, greater emotional resilience, and a stronger sense of independence. A woman who finds happiness within herself does not need external approval to feel complete. She understands that life is about more than just social circles. It is about personal growth, meaningful experiences, and the ability to stand tall even when alone. While friendships can add richness to life, they are not the sole measure of happiness. A woman without friends can still lead a deeply fulfilling life filled with personal achievements, inner peace, and self-love. She is just as worthy of respect and admiration as anyone else. The world needs to shift its perspective on solitude and recognize that a woman who stands alone is not necessarily lonely. She may simply be strong enough to walk her own path, unafraid of where it leads. A woman with no friends often develops an extraordinary level of self-reliance and resilience. When a person does not have a strong social circle to turn to for advice, emotional support, or companionship, they are forced to rely on themselves in ways that others may never experience. This self-reliance strengthens her ability to handle challenges, make decisions independently, and trust in her own instincts. She learns how to solve problems without constantly seeking validation or second opinions. While friendships can provide comfort and assistance, being alone teaches her how to navigate life's ups and downs without external reinforcement. This kind of resilience is an incredible strength that allows her to stand firm in difficult times. Many women who have no friends become highly resourceful, learning how to manage various aspects of life on their own. Whether it is handling financial responsibilities, making career moves, or pursuing personal goals, they develop a strong sense of independence. Without the influence of peer pressure or societal expectations dictated by friendships, they often make choices based on what truly aligns with their values, rather than what is expected of them. This allows them to build a life that is authentic and meaningful, rather than one shaped by the opinions of others. Resilience also comes from the ability to withstand emotional difficulties without immediate support from friends. Life presents everyone with hardships, loss, disappointment, and failure, but a woman with no friends must learn to process these challenges internally. While this can be a lonely experience, it also cultivates deep emotional strength. She learns how to comfort herself, how to push forward when things seem difficult, and how to find joy in her own company rather than seeking external distractions. Not having friends can lead to a deeper understanding of personal interests, passions, and values. Without the influence of a social group, a woman often has the freedom to explore life on her own terms, discovering what truly makes her happy. Many people spend years shaping their identities based on the expectations of their friends, often compromising their true desires in order to fit in. However, a woman without friends has the unique advantage of making decisions without pressure to conform. She can explore her interests without worrying about whether they align with what is popular or acceptable in a social circle. Whether it is diving into a creative hobby, learning a new skill, or dedicating herself to a career path that others might not understand, she has the freedom to follow her own instincts. This self-guided exploration often leads to a greater sense of fulfillment because she is doing things for herself rather than for external approval. In addition, being alone gives her the time and space for deep introspection. She is able to reflect on her own thoughts, emotions, and beliefs without interference. Many people struggle to find this level of self-awareness because they are constantly surrounded by noise and opinions from others. But a woman who spends time alone often gains a clearer understanding of who she is and what she wants out of life. This kind of self-discovery is powerful as it allows her to live a life that is more aligned with her true self. Solitude can provide a strong sense of peace and mental clarity. In today's world where social interactions both in person and online are constant and sometimes overwhelming, being alone can be a refreshing and grounding experience. Many people feel drained by the expectations that come with friendships, such as the need to always be available, maintain constant communication, or navigate social conflicts. A woman who does not have these pressures often experiences a level of peace that others might struggle to find. Without the distractions of maintaining friendships, she has the ability to focus deeply on her thoughts, goals, and emotions. She is not constantly pulled into drama, misunderstandings, or the need to balance multiple relationships. Instead, she can spend her time engaging in activities that bring her joy and fulfillment, whether that means reading, meditating, traveling, or simply enjoying quiet moments. This mental clarity also allows her to make decisions with a clear mind without being influenced by the emotions or opinions of others. When people are constantly surrounded by friends, they often seek advice or approval before making big choices, which can sometimes lead to decisions that do not fully align with their personal desires. A woman who navigates life alone learns to trust her own judgment, which leads to a stronger sense of confidence in her ability to make important life decisions. A woman with no friends may have an unconventional life, but that does not mean it is an unfulfilled one. Society tends to place a heavy emphasis on social interactions, often equating a full social life with happiness. However, fulfillment is deeply personal and does not necessarily come from the presence of friends. Many women who live without friendships find satisfaction in other aspects of life, whether that is their careers, creative passions, family bonds, or personal development. Some women may choose solitude because they find greater purpose in work or creative expression. Others may pour their energy into personal goals, travel, or self-improvement. There are countless ways to live a meaningful life that do not depend on friendships. What matters most is that she finds fulfillment in a way that aligns with her own values and desires. It is important to recognize that not everyone follows the same path, and there is no single definition of a successful or happy life. Some people thrive in large social circles while others find peace in solitude. A woman who has no friends may not be missing anything at all. She may have simply chosen a life that looks different from what society expects. She is living a life that is uniquely her own, and that in itself is a beautiful and powerful thing. A woman with no friends often experiences a deeper level of emotional independence, which sets her apart from those who rely heavily on social connections for validation and support. Emotional independence means she has learned how to regulate her feelings, cope with challenges, and find inner strength without the immediate reassurance of others. Many people turn to friends when they feel sad, stressed, or uncertain, seeking comfort and encouragement. While this support is valuable, it can also create a dependency where individuals struggle to navigate their emotions alone. A woman who does not have this external safety net develops the ability to self-soothe, process her thoughts, and manage her emotional well-being without relying on external validation. This level of emotional independence makes her incredibly strong and self-sufficient. She does not need constant approval or reassurance from others to feel secure in her decisions or self-worth. She trusts her instincts, understands her emotions, and knows how to find peace within herself. She might turn to journaling, meditation, creative expression, or physical activities to channel her emotions rather than seeking comfort from others. Over time, this practice of self-reliance strengthens her emotional intelligence, allowing her to remain stable and composed in situations where others might struggle. Another advantage of emotional independence is the ability to avoid unnecessary drama and conflict. Many people become emotionally entangled in the ups and downs of their friendships, experiencing stress from misunderstandings, betrayals, or unmet expectations. A woman without friends does not have to navigate these emotional roller coasters. She is free from the weight of social obligations, group dynamics, and interpersonal conflicts that can sometimes be draining. This allows her to focus on her own peace and well-being without being affected by external negativity. Because of her emotional independence, she also develops a heightened sense of self-awareness. She has the time and space to reflect deeply on her thoughts, values, and desires without being influenced by the opinions or expectations of others. This self-awareness helps her make decisions that are truly aligned with who she is, rather than being shaped by peer pressure or societal norms. She understands what makes her happy, what she stands for, and what she wants out of life. Without the distractions of a social circle, a woman with no friends can dedicate herself fully to personal and professional growth. Many women who spend time alone use their solitude as an opportunity to invest in themselves, developing skills, pursuing education, or advancing in their careers. While friendships can be enriching, they can also be time-consuming, requiring effort and emotional energy. A woman without these social commitments often finds that she has more time to focus on her aspirations, leading to significant personal and professional achievements. She may dedicate her time to learning new skills, exploring creative passions, or building a successful career. Without the distractions of constant socializing, she can channel her energy into projects and goals that bring her fulfillment. Many successful women throughout history have spent long periods in solitude, using their time to create, innovate, and master their craft. This focus and dedication often lead to a deep sense of accomplishment, as she is able to reach milestones and achieve things that might have been difficult with the demands of an active social life. In addition to professional growth, solitude allows for deep self-improvement and personal transformation. A woman without friends has the freedom to work on herself in ways that go beyond what is often possible in a highly social lifestyle. She can develop healthier habits, focus on mental and physical well-being, and engage in meaningful self-reflection. Whether it is through fitness, mindfulness practices, reading, or self-care routines, she has the space to evolve into the best version of herself without distractions. This period of self-growth can also lead to increased confidence and self-respect. She learns to set boundaries, prioritize her needs, and stand firm in her decisions. She does not feel the pressure to conform to social expectations or change herself to fit in. Instead, she embraces who she truly is and takes pride in her independence. This self-assuredness often radiates outward, making her an inspiring presence to those who recognize her strength and determination. A woman with no friends often finds unique ways to engage with the world outside of traditional friendships. While she may not have close social relationships, she may form meaningful connections in other ways. She might develop a strong bond with family members, co-workers, or mentors who offer support and companionship in a different capacity. She may also engage with the world through volunteering, participating in community projects, or becoming involved in causes that matter to her. Many women without friends find fulfillment in solitary activities that still connect them to something greater. They may immerse themselves in literature, art, music, or travel, finding inspiration and joy in experiences rather than people. Some develop a deep relationship with nature, spending time hiking, gardening, or simply appreciating the world around them. These experiences provide a sense of connection that goes beyond traditional friendships, offering a form of companionship through passions and interests rather than through individuals. Technology has also made it easier for women without friends to connect with like-minded individuals in unconventional ways. Online communities, discussion forums, and virtual events allow for engagement with people who share similar interests even if physical friendships are not present. This flexibility allows her to interact with others on her own terms, without the pressure of maintaining in-person relationships. A woman without friends may have fewer social interactions, but that does not mean she is isolated or disconnected from the world. She simply finds different ways to experience connection through her passions, her work, her creativity, or the larger world around her. She understands that fulfillment does not have to come from friendships alone, but rather from a rich and meaningful engagement with life itself. A woman with no friends often discovers a profound sense of freedom that many people with active social lives may never fully experience. Without the obligations and expectations that come with maintaining friendships, she has the ability to live life on her own terms. Many people feel pressure to meet social expectations, attend gatherings, maintain regular communication, and be available for others at all times. While friendships can bring joy and support, they can also come with emotional burdens, misunderstandings, and obligations that require significant energy. A woman who does not have these social commitments has complete control over her time, decisions, and personal space. This freedom allows her to make choices that align solely with her own values and desires. She does not have to worry about compromising her time to fit into group activities, attending events she does not enjoy, or engaging in conversations that do not interest her. She has the autonomy to prioritize her own needs, interests, and goals without outside influences steering her in a different direction. Many women who live without friendships find that they are able to dedicate more time to personal projects, self-care, and pursuits that bring them genuine happiness. The absence of social pressures also enables her to live authentically. People who are deeply involved in friendships sometimes alter their personalities or suppress their true selves to fit in with their social circles. They may feel the need to agree with popular opinions, follow trends, or engage in activities they do not genuinely enjoy in order to maintain their friendships. A woman without friends, however, does not have to adjust her personality or opinions for the sake of social acceptance. She is free to be exactly who she is without worrying about judgment, exclusion, or approval from others. With this freedom, she can explore the world at her own pace, making decisions that suit her best interests. Whether she wants to travel alone, change careers, relocate, or try new experiences, she does not have to consider the impact of these decisions on a group of friends. Many people feel tied down by their social commitments, hesitant to make bold life choices because they fear losing their friendships or disrupting their social lives. A woman without this attachment can embrace opportunities fearlessly, knowing that she is accountable only to herself. Another advantage of this freedom is the ability to set and maintain boundaries without guilt. Many people struggle to enforce personal boundaries in friendships because they fear disappointing or offending others. They may feel obligated to say yes to favors, engage in conversations they do not want to have, or spend time with people even when they need personal space. A woman without friends, however, has the ability to prioritize her boundaries without external pressure. She does not have to justify her need for solitude, her lifestyle choices, or her decisions to anyone else. This level of autonomy fosters a deep sense of peace as she can focus on what truly matters to her without feeling stretched thin by social obligations. Additionally, a woman without friends has the unique opportunity to build a strong relationship with herself. Many people seek external validation from friendships, looking to others for reassurance, companionship, and approval. While social interaction is valuable, an over-reliance on friendships can sometimes prevent individuals from developing a solid foundation of self-worth. A woman who spends time alone, however, learns to find joy in her own company, understanding that she does not need external validation to feel fulfilled. She learns to trust herself, make independent decisions, and rely on her own wisdom rather than seeking constant advice from others. Many women who live without friendships develop an unshakable sense of confidence because they have learned to navigate life without needing external approval. They become comfortable in solitude, finding peace and happiness in their own presence. They do not feel the need to fill their days with distractions or social interactions to avoid being alone. Instead, they embrace the quiet moments and use them for reflection, creativity, and growth. This deep self-awareness often leads to a more fulfilling and intentional life. She is not swayed by trends, peer pressure, or societal expectations, allowing her to make choices based on what truly aligns with her values. Many people struggle to define their own past because they are influenced by the opinions of their friends, fearing judgment or rejection if they choose a different route. A woman without these external pressures can craft a life that is uniquely her own, following her passions and making decisions that bring her the most satisfaction. Furthermore, without the distractions and expectations of friendships, she has more energy to invest in meaningful personal and professional pursuits. She may dedicate herself to her career, explore artistic or intellectual interests, and embark on personal development journeys that enhance her life in profound ways. Many women who live without friends find fulfillment in creative expression, whether through writing, painting, music, or other artistic outlets. Others may choose to focus on fitness, health, or self-improvement, using their time alone to develop skills and cultivate new passions. Without the need to conform to group dynamics, she is also able to build a strong sense of discipline and self-motivation. Many people rely on friends for encouragement or accountability, whether it is for fitness goals, career ambitions, or personal projects. A woman without this external support system learns to motivate herself, pushing forward with determination even when no one is watching. This ability to self-discipline and stay focused on her goals gives her an advantage in many aspects of life, as she does not require outside encouragement to take action. A woman with no friends may not have the traditional social experiences that society emphasizes, but she leads a life that is rich in self-discovery, freedom, and personal growth. She is not limited by the expectations of others, allowing her to fully embrace who she is and what she wants out of life. Through emotional independence, self-awareness, and the ability to set boundaries, she cultivates a strong and fulfilling relationship with herself. She understands that happiness is not solely dependent on friendships, but can be found in solitude, passion, and the pursuit of a life that aligns with her true self. In the end, a woman with no friends is not incomplete or lacking. She is simply walking a different path, one that is shaped by self-discovery, resilience, and independence. Society often equates happiness with social connections, but fulfillment comes in many forms. Whether she finds joy in solitude, personal achievements, or the freedom to live life on her own terms, her journey is just as meaningful. She is not defined by the absence of friendships, but by the strength she has cultivated within herself. Her life is a testament to the fact that happiness does not always come from others. It can be found in the quiet moments, the personal victories, and the unwavering belief in her own worth.